In November 2025, Time magazine's cover story celebrated Donald Trump's role in brokering a Gaza ceasefire, a diplomatic win that should have been a PR triumph. The article inside detailed the tense negotiations, the late-night phone calls, and the high-stakes meetings that led to a fragile but hopeful peace. For many, it was a rare moment of international cooperation, and the world watched as leaders shook hands and declared an end to months of violence. The magazine's editors believed they were capturing a historic achievement, one that would be remembered for years. Yet almost immediately the focus shifted from his achievement to the cover photo itself. Instead of headlines about peace, the media and public zeroed in on the image chosen to represent Trump at this pivotal moment. Trump, instead of embracing the positive article, erupted in outrage over the image. He took to social media and press conferences, expressing his anger and disappointment. He claimed the photo made him look weak, overshadowing the story's praise. Supporters echoed his frustration, arguing that the media was undermining his accomplishment with a single unflattering shot. The debate quickly became about the power of a single image, not the peace deal. Commentators dissected the photo's lighting, angle, and intent, questioning whether it was a subtle jab or just poor editorial judgment. Public conversation veered from diplomacy to Trump's appearance and media intent. Newsrooms, talk shows, and social media feeds buzzed with arguments about bias, image manipulation, and the influence of visual storytelling. The magazine, expecting applause for its coverage, found itself at the center of a controversy about aesthetics and perceived slights. Editors defended their choices, but the narrative had already shifted. Once again, a political victory was eclipsed by the battle over image. In the end, the story of peace was drowned out by debates over perception, leaving many to wonder if substance could ever outshine spectacle in modern politics. Trump took to Truth Social, blasting the Time cover as super bad. He wasted no time in sharing his outrage with his millions of followers, making sure everyone knew exactly how he felt about the magazine's portrayal of him. He called it the worst of all time, emphasizing his disappointment and anger. Trump's words were sharp, and his tone was unmistakably personal. He accused the magazine of malice, focusing on the photo's lighting and angle. According to Trump, these weren't just artistic choices. They were deliberate attempts to make him look bad. Trump complained the backlighting made his hair vanish and created a strange, floating crown. He argued that the effect was so unnatural, it had to be intentional, designed to mock him in front of the world. He especially hated the low camera angle, which he felt distorted his features. To Trump, the photo was less a portrait and more a caricature, exaggerating every detail he disliked. For Trump, these choices weren't accidental, they were personal attacks. He insisted the magazine's editors had gone out of their way to undermine him, using subtle visual tricks to send a message. His outrage turned a positive headline into a viral grievance. What could have been a moment of celebration quickly became a rallying cry for his supporters, who echoed his complaints online. The world now debated not his diplomatic skills, but his image in the media's motives. News outlets and social media users alike dissected every detail, questioning whether the cover was fair or a calculated slight. Trump's narrative of being wronged by the press took center stage, overshadowing the original story. Once again, he managed to shift the conversation, making himself the victim and the media the villain in the eyes of his followers. The photo, shot by Bloomberg's Graham Sloan at the White House, wasn't taken for Time's cover. The sun behind Trump's head caused overexposure, erasing his hair and creating a halo effect. Picture editor Carly Earle explained the low angle was meant to make Trump look heroic. Instead, it accentuated features he disliked, fueling his anger. The image aimed for gravitas and serenity, reflecting the peace deal. But the artistic choices clashed with Trump's personal preferences. Even a technically strong photo can backfire if the subject feels misrepresented. The controversy showed how a single image can ignite a media firestorm. The uproar spread fast. Critics and allies alike seized the moment. California Governor Newsom's team mocked the cover, pixelating Trump's chin and neck. Meanwhile, Russia's Maria Zakharova called the photo a deliberate act of malice, accusing Western media of bias. The cover became a political Rorschach test mockery for opponents, proof of media hostility for supporters. The image's symbolism quickly outgrew the original story. In 2025's hyper-partisan climate, even a magazine cover became a global battleground. The photo's meaning depended entirely on who was looking. Trump's fury made sense in light of his long obsession with Time magazine covers. For decades, the magazine has been a symbol of prestige and influence, and Trump has always craved that spotlight. To him, being featured on the cover wasn't just about recognition, it was about cementing his place in history, shaping how the world saw him. He once displayed fake, flattering Time covers at his golf clubs, craving the validation. These covers weren't just decorations, they were statements, carefully curated to project power and success to anyone who walked through his doors. The illusion mattered as much as the reality. For Trump, being on the cover wasn't enough. He wanted control over how he appeared. Every detail, from the headline to the photograph, was scrutinized. He believed that the right image could sway public opinion, and he fought fiercely to shape that narrative. Despite frequent complaints, he's graced Time's cover many times, often contentiously. Each appearance sparked debate, with supporters celebrating and critics questioning the attention. The covers became flashpoints in the ongoing culture wars. Each appearance fueled his love-hate relationship with the media. Trump relished the coverage, even as he railed against what he saw as unfair treatment. The media, in turn, couldn't resist the spectacle he created. The 2025 controversy was just the latest chapter in this ongoing saga. It reignited old arguments about truth, image, and influence, showing that the battle over perception is never really over. In politics, the battle over image can eclipse even the biggest achievements. For leaders like Trump, how they are seen often matters more than what they actually do. For Trump and Time, the fight over a single photo became a symbol of much larger wars, over truth, power, and the stories we choose to believe.